We are live with another one, guys, okay? We are live with another one. The mic is hot, guys. The mic is hot. Okay, welcome to the channel. This is OE MMA TV. I'm your host, OE. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. And like I always say, this is your channel. The only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right, guys. Breaking news. Okay, breaking news this morning. Actually, it happened last night. All right, like around 8:45 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, we got the breaking news. Okay, coming from UFC headquarters here. Rafael Fiziev will not be fighting Charles Oliveira. Okay, unfortunately, Rafael Fiziev is out of that fight due to injury once again. I mean, these guys just can't they can't stay, they can't stay healthy. Unfortunately, these guys cannot stay healthy. Mustard, welcome back to your channel. Welcome back to your chat. How you doing? Mustard says, "Oh God, what fight got canceled? Rafael Fiziev versus Charles Oliveira, my man. That fight isn't happening anymore." Okay, and now Rafael Fiziev, I really don't know what's next for him. He continuously gets injured. Okay, and now he's suffering from another injury. He falls out of this fight with Charles Oliveira. And now there's rumors that there is somebody that's willing to step in short notice to fight Charles Oliveira, but I don't want to say his name just yet, just because it's not guaranteed. Mr. C's, welcome back to your channel. Welcome back to your chat, man. How you doing? Rafael Fiziev has had enough luck. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles for him, man. That is the way the cookie crumbles for him, guys. Okay. Hold on a second. I'm looking for something right now. Was it that card? What card was it? Hold on a second, guys. I'm looking for something. I am looking for something. Where is it? Sorry about that, guys. Let me read the comments real fast. Imagine Charles versus Max as a replacement. Mustard. That sounds like a great fight. Lucifer says, a vampire walks into a bar and asks the bartender, all right, hi, is this a load-bearing wall behind you? Uh, Rob says, Baller League. All right, well, guys, I mean, according to sources of mine, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? I'm gonna put this name out there just because it might just happen. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, okay? One of these likes, one of these subscriptions. Unfortunately, the breaking news is Rafael Fiziev will be not, he will not be fighting Charles Oliveira, unfortunately, excuse me. And he falls out of this fight due to injury. And now Charles Oliveira finds himself in a funny spot because there's not many people that are going to be willing to fight him on short notice, but there is a name that's been thrown out there. And my sources say it might happen, but we're going to see. We're going to see. We got Benoit Saint Denis, who might just be willing to step in on short notice to fight Charles Oliveira. But we shall see how that all, comes together, okay? That is not guaranteed, okay? But that is just the rumor right now that the name that's been thrown around uh was Benoit Saint Denis. Munster says maybe that, or get Gaethje in there. Don't give a fuck if he wants to Poirier. I don't know. Nah, the UFC is not going to do that. I think that fight is actually guaranteed, guys. I actually think that fight is guaranteed. Justin Gaethje versus Ilia Topuria. I think that's the next fight the UFC is actually going to book. And they're gonna save Justin Gaethje. Okay, they are going to save Justin Gaethje. Okay, so Don't quote me on that Benoit Saint Denis. Okay, that's just my sources say that his name has been thrown around. But what do you guys think about that? Benoit Saint Denis versus Charles Oliveira. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Sleepy says ER. Mustard says, or maybe put Patty in there because he's high key not done. Fuck all after the Chandler fight. I won't lie. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know what's next. I really don't know who's gonna go in there. You know, to be honest with you, it's not. Nothing is factual right now. There's just rumors right now. The UFC right now is running with their heads cut off, trying to figure out who's gonna fight Charles Oliveira. Um, and this is a sad story, guys. Isn't this it's happening on every card almost. Fights are falling out left and right. These guys need to just they need to reevaluate who they're training with and how they're training, to be honest. Ben is my name. I subscribed. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Welcome to your community and welcome to your chat. Mustard says, I could see it actually being a decent fight, but I don't want BSD doing it just after picking up some momentum. I mean, you're right, Mustard. You are absolutely right. But how about if he goes in there, he puts out a good performance, right, against Charles Oliveira, and he builds even more momentum? How about that? Mustard says, or Charles versus Dan Hooker could be cool. I don't think Dan Hooker is going to step in there on short notice. I think Dan Hooker is going to be safe for next year, 2026, against Arman. I think that's the fight the UFC is looking to book. J Productions says, I'll fight anybody as long as I get paid. That is what's up, man. That is what's up, guys. Like and subscribe. Run up these likes, run up these subscriptions, support the community. As I always say, this is your channel, okay? I am just a pilot. The only channel where the fans come first, not last. Cloud says Patty Pimlet would body John Bones Jones. You are out of control. You are out of control, my guy. You are out of control, to be honest with you. But that is really that's the breaking. I mean, when it comes to BSD, when it comes to BSD, I mean, it is a short notice fight. It is a short notice fight. Excuse me. Charles Oliveira is a tricky fighter to really prepare for, especially on short notice. So I don't know. I don't know who's going to be willing to step in there, to be honest. We all know it. Hey man, how you doing, Alex? Welcome back to your channel. Welcome back to your chat. What's up? How you doing? Mustard says, as for BSD, I personally want to see him versus Michael Chandler, but that's just me. Well, right now, there's rumors that Michael Chandler might fight Conor McGregor at that White House card, but we shall see, guys. We shall see how it's going to, be put together. Alex J says, please, can you shout out my cousin for his birthday? His name is, yeah. Mustard says, plus I high key think BSD doesn't get enough credit for the wars he be having. Mustard, I agree. I mean, he might not get enough credit with the casuals, but I mean, I give him enough credit. Great mixed martial arts fighter. Only lost against the who's who, in that division. Alex J says, please, can you shout out my cousin for his birthday? His name is all right, Dixon. Okay, happy birthday. I thought he was going to fight Sonnen. Who are you talking about, Clouds? Who's gonna fight Sonnen? Alex says, why you ignoring my shout out, man? Alex, I just said it. Happy birthday, Dixon. Happy birthday. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Run up the likes, run up the subscriptions. Can you say his full name, please? No, man. I'll stay with Dixon, man. I don't want to, I don't want to mess up his last name, man. I don't want to mess up his last name, so I'll stay with Dixon. Happy birthday, Dixon. But yeah, guys. I mean, to be honest with you, I really don't know who's gonna step in on short notice. I mean, high caliber, contender, high caliber fighter, former champion Charles Oliveira. I mean, there's not gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be willing to step in on short notice. I can tell you that right now. Um, and also, guys, uh, also we got Gene Silva. Okay, we got Gene Silva out here. Uh, he did a fighter call out. Okay, he wants to fight Yair Rodriguez. Gene Silva out here calling out Yair Rodriguez, and Gene Silva says that he wants to fight him in December. I don't know how that's possible because he's going to be suspended for a long time. I mean, he suffered, multiple, cuts, injuries, knocked out, KO'd. Okay, KO'd by Diego Lopez. So I don't know if that fight would actually happen in December, to be honest with you. But that's a good call out. That is a good call out. Gene Silva versus Yair Rodriguez. UFC needs to book it. They need to do it ASAP. Put it together. I think that fight is fantastic. Sean Shelby McMaynard, if you hear me right now, please book it. Put it together. Because if you're not going to book that, then you might as well book Diego Lopez versus Yair Rodriguez. That's the next fight to make, guys. There's actually drama there. All right. The buildup will be great. All right. What do y'all think of Diego? Clouds, look, I think Diego is a fantastic fighter, man. I think Diego is a fantastic fighter. He did a great job beating Gene Silva. Showed that there's levels to this game. All right. Let me see. Too bad Silva screwed himself over bad. That's what Mustard said. I apologize about that. If it came off, I apologize. Cloud says, book me versus Sean O'Malley. Cloud, you are out of control. Dean, welcome back to your channel. Welcome back to your chat. Breaking news, Dean Rafael Fiziev is out of the fight with Charles Oliveira due to injury once again. The guy just has no opportunities to stay healthy. Okay? And now we have Charles Oliveira, basically waiting on pins and needles to see who's going to step in on short notice. Dean says, Dean on the scene, what's up? How have you been? I've been good, man. I've been good. I can't complain. How's everybody? How you been? Hopefully you've been good, man. Blessings to you. Mustard says, to be fair to Rafael, he has been decently active. He has been. He has been. And unfortunately, now he's injured again. Unfortunately, now he's injured again, guys. Okay, let's not forget he got injured. He was out for like a year and a half. Then came back. And now he's injured again. It's unfortunate. Maverick, welcome back to your channel. Welcome back to your chat. What fight got canceled? Maverick, Rafael Fiziev versus Charles Oliveira. That fight got canceled. Rafael Fiziev will not be fighting Charles Oliveira due to injury. Okay, that is the breaking news right now that we have been talking about. And we also, we're talking about Gene Silva calling out Yair Rodriguez, wanting to fight him in December. And how realistic would that fight be? Cloud said, feelings on McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. I think it was a fantastic fight for its time. Okay. Devin says, lame. That is what's up, man. Maverick says, damn, those injuries. I'm telling you, just can't stay healthy. Mustard says, personally, I dig Rafael fighting Mauricio Ruffy when he recovers, or maybe Michael Chandler. Yeah, I like it. I like it. That sounds fun. That sounds fun. I mean, guys, multiple cards are just in shambles right now, okay? The UFC has, they've been just announcing canceled cards after canceled cards. I mean, let's not forget, guys, Reiner de Ridder versus Anthony Hernandez has gotten canceled, guys. That fight is canceled. The middleweight division is in shambles. Okay, there's nobody to fight Chimaev, honestly. Okay, there is like nobody to fight Chimaev. Who's it gonna put in there? Strickland? Out of control, guys. And now we have Rafael Fiziev not fighting Charles Oliveira due to injury. I mean, two guys who are very high caliber contenders right now, Rafael Fiziev and Anthony Hernandez. But now, I mean, now the UFC give us Brandon Allen versus Reiner the Riller, guys. Brandon Allen versus RDR. Not. I mean, I don't even know I don't even know about that. I don't know about that, guys. And now I'm frightened to see who's gonna fight Charles Oliveira. Okay, I'm frightened. Maverick says McGregor is claiming he's fighting Michael Chandler at the White House card. Well, guys, look, if you guys didn't forget, okay, I did make my UFC White House card predictions. Okay, I did make my UFC White House card predictions, and I did predict that Conor McGregor will be on this White House card. Okay, excuse me. And I did also predict that Kayla Harrison will also be in this White House card as well. Okay, two predictions that I did predict, and it looks like it might just happen, guys. Okay. Mustard says not Chandler. Looks like it's gonna be Chandler. Lucky says Diddy, and he's spamming it. So hold on a second, guys. All right. Yes. Got to put that guy on timeout. You know what I mean? Got to put that guy on timeout. I don't know what that was about, guys. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, okay? Support the community. Run up these likes. Run up these subscriptions. I'm giving you breaking news, okay? Here at 5 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. All right? There's nobody out here doing it like this, all right? Maverick says, Chandler is not the best boxer. Fights in short bursts and swings wildly. Maverick, I agree. He's definitely not one of the great boxers at all. Okay, and unfortunately, he does not have a good record. Okay, he does not. Michael Chandler's last win, guys, I hate to say this, was against a dead body of Tony Ferguson. Okay, honestly. All right. Tony Ferguson was already on a losing streak when he fought Michael Chandler, and Michael Chandler got lucky because he was losing that fight. Okay. Maverick says he's handmade for McGregor. Very true. He's definitely handmade for McGregor. It will be an easy win for Conor McGregor. I'll tell you that much. Mercer says Charles versus Marcano. Maybe, I mean, if he gets the money, it could be a quick replacement. Maybe, and honestly, that would be a good fight. I think Marcano has a good chance to give Charles Oliveira, a run for his money on short notice as well. You know what I mean? Would he win? I'm not gonna say he's gonna win, but it would be a good fight. It would be a good fight. Okay. I'm just afraid now, guys. I'm afraid what Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard are gonna put together, guys. Okay? I'm frightened. I'm afraid. I don't know what these guys are gonna do. I'm just being honest. Okay, because like I said, RDR was supposed to fight Anthony Hernandez, and that fight was supposed to, basically be the fight to see who's gonna fight Chimaev. But unfortunately, that fight got canceled as well. Rafael Fiziev, Charles Oliveira canceled as well. I mean, these cards are just not they're not holding up, guys. They're just not holding up. Mustard says definitely he actually had a pretty good performance against Dariush. I agree. I agree with you. Okay, that's the reason why I say that would be a good fight. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. I think it'll be a good one. They should book it. They should book it. I mean, They're supposed to fight in October, so that's really short notice, man. That is really short notice. So to fight, a high caliber contender in Charles Oliveira, it's gonna take somebody with some cojones, guys. Okay, it's gonna take somebody who's gonna be willing to step in there and don't just throw caution to the wind. All right, because I'm not sure if this is gonna be a 5 rounder anymore. To be real, I mean, because if I'm a mixed martial arts fighter, and let's say, bring, I get the call, and hello, Dana White, and it's Dana White, and I'm like, and Dana White is here talking in my ear, and he's like, hey, I got Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard here on the line, and we wanted to call you because, as you know, the breaking news is right now, Rafael Fiziev can't fight Charles Oliveira due to injury. He just can't fight, so we're gonna need a replacement. Okay. And we're calling you, and we want to see if you want to fight Charles Oliveira on, in October, on short notice. What do you say about that? First thing I want to say is two things, guys. Okay, first and foremost, all right, what's the money? Okay, I'm gonna ask what is the money. Let's negotiate that part. All right, let's get that part out of the way. All right, and then the next part would be, I'm gonna need this to be a 3 rounder. Okay, I understand this is your main event, but I'm gonna need you to make this a 3 rounder. I don't know if this was even a 3 rounder or a 5 rounder, but let's make sure it is a 3 rounder, okay, guys? And that is about it. That's all I'll say. Maverick says, I think RDR should fight Chimaev next. I'm expecting an upset. I think it will play out the way Damian Maia fought Chael Sonnen. Maverick, that's a good breakdown. That is a good breakdown, actually. I don't think it'll happen though. Mustard says also, high key. I know the Chandler fight's been billed, but I fucking love Marcano fighting Connor instead, barely being able to understand each of them. Shit talking would be hilarious. The shit talking would be hilarious, Mustard. It would be. A Fist and Claw says, if you put Prime Fedor, Prime Aspinall, Prime Jones, Prime Ngannou in one room, who's walking out that room? Damn. If we're talking Prime Fedor, look, I'll tell you what. The first person getting knocked out in that room is Aspinall. Aspinall is going to bed. All right, he's going to sleep. There's no way Aspinall lasts 30 seconds in a room like that. Okay, I guarantee you that. All right, and I'll tell you what. The next person after Aspinall, okay, to get out of there is most likely going to be Ngannou. I think Ngannou is going to get out of there as well, because I think Fedor would attack Aspinall and put him away fairly quickly. I think John Jones would then proceed to attack Ngannou, and then he'll put Ngannou to sleep with a rear naked choke. Okay, and now who's left is Fedor versus John Jones, just looking at each other. Okay, with the death stare of a lifetime, just standing there staring at each other. John Jones versus Fedor. Okay, prime for prime. All of a sudden, they lock each other. Okay, in a wrestling move. Okay, Fedor grabs John Jones. Okay, spins him in the air and proceeds to slam him in the ground, breaking his neck and back. And Fedor walks out that bitch, okay, scot-free, all right, not even a scratch on him, guaranteed, okay. Oh gosh, Fist and Claw, great breakdown though, great breakdown. Maverick says, Prime John Jones, he will eye poke them all. Oh God, that is hilarious. Mustard says, I reckon they all just jump John Jones. That would be hilarious. Mustard says, who do you think would win prime for prime, Anthony Johnson or Alex Pereira? Oh man. I'm gonna have to give it to Anthony Johnson, guys. I'm gonna have to give it to Anthony Johnson because I saw what Alex Pereira did in his last fight versus Ankalaev, and I saw what happened, with Alex Pereira in his last middleweight fight as well. Let's not forget, guys, he did he did get finished. Okay, he did get finished. And I think if he fought Anthony Johnson, oh man, he's getting chin checked fairly quickly too. Because Anthony Johnson, I mean, that guy, he hits you one time, you're liable to die. Okay. Let me see. Fist and Claw says, bro, Pereira smokes him. I don't think so, man. I don't think so, guys. Look, I like Alex Pereira. I like him. But if you think Adesanya would survive a punch from Anthony Johnson, then you're sleeping at the wheel, guys. Okay, you're literally in a car, sleeping at the wheel, about to crash into the oncoming traffic. Okay, all right, that's what's going on right there. Okay, because look, let me tell you something. Anthony Johnson sleeps. Okay, sleeps. Alex Pereira. Fist and Claw says Prime DC versus Prime Cain Velasquez. Man, Fist and Claw, that's a damn. I'm gonna have to give it to Cain Velasquez. I think Cain Velasquez takes it. I think he's gonna be the more, just he was just a monster in his prime, guys. Okay, a monster. Mustard says Anthony Johnson was so fucking huge for his weight. Very much so, guys. I think Anthony Johnson takes it. Okay, I think he takes it, guys, honestly. But, guys, we're about to hit the 30-minute mark, and you know what happens? Once we hit the 30-minute mark, we could talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. It doesn't have to be mixed martial arts related. Okay, rapid fire, guys. But let me spin you around back to the topic of discussion. Unfortunately, the breaking news, Rafael Fiziev falls out of his fight versus Charles Oliveira. And now we're waiting on pins and needles to see who fights Charles Oliveira. There is rumors out there of who's willing to step in, but like I said, it's not factual. And as well as Gene Silva wanting to fight Yair Rodriguez, calling out that fight, wanting to fight him in December. I don't know how realistic that fight is actually going to happen, okay? But it is an interesting call out. And that's the breaking news right now, okay? All right, that is the breaking news. Mustard says, what do you think? Who do you think will win prime for prime, Alexander Gustafsson or Khalil Roundtree? Wow. I'm gonna have to give it to Alexander Gustafsson, man. I mean, the guy almost beat John Jones, guys. Okay, he almost beat prime John Jones, and I don't give a damn if John Jones was, coming off of a weekend of partying. I could give a damn about that. Fist and Claw says, can Prime Cain beat Prime Jones? Man, Fist and Claw, that's an interesting question, man. That's a question that I don't know if I can answer right now, to be honest. Can Prime Cain beat Prime Jones? Damn. I think so. I think so. I think that's part of the reason why John Jones stood in his position in the light heavyweight division. We didn't see John Jones move to the heavyweight division once the heavyweight division was in shambles. And that's just facts, okay? So I think part of that reasoning was that Cain Velasquez was a champion and he was there. And not many people wanted to fight that guy. Okay, so I think Cain Velasquez can beat prime for prime John Jones. Good question though. Mustard says, can prime for prime Prime for prime, who you got? Cowboy Cerrone or Justin Gaethje? I got Cowboy Cerrone. I got Cowboy Cerrone, and the reason why I got Cowboy Cerrone is because he's not an idiot. Cowboy Cerrone is not an idiot. He knows when he needs to use his mixed martial arts. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember that fight, Cowboy Cerrone versus Platinum Mike Perry. Remember that fight? Everybody thought that was going to be a barn burner. Everybody thought, Cowboy Cerrone was going to go in there and strike with Platinum Mike Perry, and Platinum Mike Perry was definitely hoping for it. And what does Cowboy Cerrone do? He uses his full mixed martial arts spectrum of his game and submits him with an armbar. Something that Justin Gaethje is incapable. The guy is not capable of using any wrestling, okay? And winning by submission. Not capable. So I give it a Cowboy Cerrone. Mustard says Cowboy was fucking invincible when he goes into that second round. I hear you. Fist and Claw says, bro, how's life? Fist and Claw, I mean, good. I can't complain, man. I cannot complain. Life is great, guys. Life is great. And thank you for asking. Hopefully you're doing well. You know what I mean? Wanted to get on this live so I can give this community breaking news, as I do. I always like to stay true to this community. But yeah, guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, okay? Run up the likes, run up the subscriptions, support the community, okay? Let me know. Let me know. I am excited for the NBA, guys. I am excited to watch my Knicks play. I don't watch any other team play, so I'm excited to watch my Knicks play. It's going to be a good season. A lot of people are predicting that they go to the finals. Okay, I'm not going to put that type of pressure on their backs, but I am going to tell you this: it's been a hell of a long time. Okay, hell of a long time. I have to say it twice. Okay, since the Knicks have won a championship, hasn't even happened in my lifetime. So hopefully they can pull it off. Okay. Mustard says, who would win at welterweight, prime for prime, Nick Diaz or Kobe Covington? I give it to Nick Diaz, man. I give it to Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz was a monster. Okay, he was actually a champion. Nick Diaz was a champion in Strikeforce. He became champion. So I give it to Nick Diaz. He would have outlasted Kobe on the feet. Mustard says, by the way, Kobe versus Nick would have been great shit talk. Man, it would have been a great fight. It would have been a great fight. Man, these fights are all awesome. I would have loved to watch each and every one of them, especially that Nick Diaz versus Kobe Covington. I mean, come on, guys, make up some more fights. All right, make up some more fights. I want to hear this. Let me know. All right, let me know on the chat. More fights. This sounds fun. This sounds fun right now. I like that Fedor versus John Jones fight as well. That would have been fantastic. Okay, fantastic. And how about Fedor versus Cain Velasquez? That would have been fun. That would have been hella fun. Queen, welcome to your channel. Welcome to your chat, bro. How often do you go live? What are you looking forward to the most this coming September and October? Well, September is almost done, guys, okay? September is almost done. And how frequently do I go live? I usually go live almost every day. Okay, Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday and Sunday as well, especially when the UFC has events on Saturdays. Okay, unfortunately, the UFC does not have any events, okay, going on this weekend. All right. But it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. And what am I looking forward to most this October, man? I mean, I'm looking forward to more UFC events. October seems to be a fun, a fun month for the UFC, so I look forward to that. And yeah. Queen says, I just subbed because I remember the Minion background. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Welcome to your community. Okay. Welcome to your chat. Okay. Mustard says prime for prime. Who you got? Yoel Romero versus Anderson Silva. Guys, I understand that Yoel Romero is just another type of animal when it comes to mixed martial arts. He's competing till this day, and till this day, the guy looks like he's 29 years old. Okay, body of a 22-year-old. Okay, but when it comes to Anderson Silva, the prime of Anderson Silva was doing things that no other mixed martial arts fighter was actually capable of doing. So if I'm gonna have to give it to someone, I'm gonna give it to Anderson Silva, guys. Okay, I'm gonna give it to Anderson Silva to beat prime for prime Romero. Fist and Claw says, "Bro, I love your channel and live. Sorry for my bad English. I'm 14 years old and I am from Balkan. Well, that's what's up, man. That is what's up. No worries, no worries. You're doing a great job. Okay, you are doing a great job, and welcome to your community. Prime Ngannou versus Prime McGregor and Prime Dustin Poirier. I think Dustin Poirier takes it. Mustard says, I think Anderson by decision, but he clocked Url a lot. But Url would just keep taking keep taking it. Pause. Yeah, that's most likely what would happen. Queen says, Cokehead McGregor versus Prime Dylan Dennis. Guys, I definitely give it to McGregor, even with his issues. Okay, even with his issues. Okay, Prime Jason 9. Hold on a second, Jason 9. I wanted to grab that real fast. All right, Jason 9. Welcome to your channel. Welcome back to your chat. Prime Ngannou versus Prime Brock Lesnar with Pride Rules. Holy shit. I give it to Prime Ngannou, guys. I think Ngannou knocks him out fairly easy. And if he hits him and he falls and he's still trying to stay alive, I think Ngannou stomps him out. Okay, like a cockroach. All right, that is what happens, guys. Okay, that is what would happen in my mind. That's what I imagine. Okay. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel, okay? Run up these likes and run up these subscriptions, man. All right? Run up these likes and run up these subscriptions, man. I mean, these cards are falling apart, man. These cards are falling apart, unfortunately. Do you cover all the combat sports or mainly MMA? Queen, I cover, as of recent, okay, I did cover the Canelo versus Crawford fight. Okay, I did go live for that as well. So I did cover a little bit of boxing now that the UFC is, in a consensus with boxing. I mean, with the UFC, the UFC and the boxing community are kind of in a consensus here. I did cover it, but I mostly cover mixed martial arts, UFC specifically. I might bring up other topics as well, but mostly mixed martial arts. Mustard says prime for prime, Robert Whitaker versus Michael Bisping. I think Robert Whitaker takes it, guys. I think Robert Whitaker takes it, guys. I saw Robert Whitaker go against Yoel Romero, okay, and survive that guy, okay? So I think I give it to Robert Whitaker. Okay, that's who I give it to. But yeah, guys, I mean, there's been a lot of breaking news, man. There's been a lot of breaking news going on. I mean, we had Rajah Jackson finally being arrested. I did cover that as well. That's a huge deal. It's probably a news a lot of people wanted to hear. Unfortunately, they had to wait a long time for it. And also breaking news about, Ariel Helwani, okay, finally being able to go to UFC events and the ban being uplifted by the UFC and Dana White. Let me see. Rampage failed him out. Oh, Rampage bailed him out. Well, the bail was $60,000. So, uh, Rampage Jackson did say that he did save his, save up some money for his kids, and one of the reasons was to be able to pay bail money. So that's good for him. Fist and claws, because can Chimaev beat Pereira? I do think so. I think Chimaev takes him down, submits him to Real Nation, chokes him. You know, submits him any way possible. Munster says prime for prime. Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor, both in prime this time. I give it to Dustin, man. I give it to Dustin Poirier, guys. I think Dustin Poirier had more abilities. If you're talking about prime for prime, Dustin Poirier in his prime was just, his mind was like a steel trap. Okay. Jason 9 says, yeah, he out already. Rich kid. Ah, man, if that was a regular person, guys, he would be in jail right now. Okay. Mustard says prime for prime, Dustin Poirier versus Tony Ferguson. Who you got? I think Dustin Poirier beats him, guys. Okay, Dustin Poirier beats him too. Dustin Poirier was an animal in his prime, guys. Okay, he was an animal, guys. Definitely was an animal. And it's crazy to see these fighters, go, if you watch these fighters from, when they were, young, all the way to when they were prime, and then all the way until they were out of their prime. It's a funny story watching the whole thing break down. I mean, even Dustin Poirier. I mean, that Max Holloway fight, that last Max Holloway fight, you can't tell me he looked like a prime Dustin Poirier. And it's crazy to see that. It's crazy to see fighters. One fight to the next fight is like, huh? I mean, I guess the guy is not himself anymore. Queen says, I wish Dustin stayed long enough for the White House card, bro. He's like the best, all wholesome, all American, hot sauce guzzling Southern gentleman. I agree with that. I do agree with that. Unfortunately, he did get out of his prime, and I mean, like I said, you watched that last, Max Holloway fight. It just didn't look so good. Mustard says prime for prime, Alex Volkanovski or Khabib Nurmagomedov. Prime for prime. Prime for prime with a training camp. I give it to Alexander. Okay, I give it to Alexander. Call me crazy, but I give it to Alexander, man. Isaac says, "Hella, how you doing? How you doing? Blesses, blesses." Mustard says, "Fuck yeah, I'd of dig Dustin running it back versus Connor rather than Chandler on the White House card. Yeah, that would be nice, man. That would have been a nice card. Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. But I did predict that Conor McGregor fights Nate Diaz. It's just a fight that has history. It'll make a massive buildup, and you got an American in Nate Diaz who who's always going out there and giving good performances. Now, Michael Chandler sounds like an interesting fight as well versus Conor McGregor, but I mean, Michael Chandler has taken ass whippings, guys. Okay, he has taken ass whippings. All right. But yeah, guys, I mean, these cards are falling apart. These cards are falling apart. I don't know what Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard are going to do now. I really don't. I don't know what they're going to do. I will be making my UFC fight predictions for this card coming this Saturday. Okay. And as it stands right now with my UFC fight predictions, I'm 206 wins and 139 losses. Okay. That is 206 wins and 139 losses for my UFC fight predictions for 2025, guys. All right. Let me see. Mustard says, who you think would win stand up only, Tony Ferguson or Dan Hooker, both in their prime? I think Tony Ferguson takes it if they were both in their prime. Puerto Rico loves you. Awesome, man. Gracias. Okay. I appreciate it. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All the way from Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. I love you guys back. Okay. I love you guys back. All right. I got to make a trip to the island. Okay. I got to make a trip to the island and travel. Okay. And, have me some totones. You know what I mean? Some arroz con gandules. You know what I mean? I gotta go. I gotta go. You know what I mean? I gotta take a trip. I gotta take a flight. Okay. But yeah, guys. Yeah. I mean, that's who I think. Tony Ferguson versus Dan Hooker. That's a good one right there. But I do think at the end of the day, prime for prime, Tony Ferguson wins that fight. And he wins that fight fairly quickly if it was all mixed martial arts fight, because he would just take him down and submit him with a undercard choke or something like that. Okay. That is fucking factual. But I wonder what else would be breaking news. I mean, September has been a month of just breaking news. Okay? It's just been breaking news. It's been breaking news, guys. You know what I mean? And no UFC events this September, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've had some events. It's just these events that they've had is just not been, some of their high caliber cards, you know. Definitely not any numbered cards in September. But the future is looking good, guys. The future is looking good for these UFC events that are happening in the near future. We got October. October is looking very, very much exciting, entertaining. We also got November. Okay, the big fight in November that I'm looking forward to the most is Islam. Okay, we got Islam Makhachev versus Jack. Okay, JDM. That's going to be a fantastic fight. But hopefully all these cards stay intact. Because as of right now, guys, like I said, we have Reina de Ritter and Anthony Hernandez being canceled. And now we got Rafael Fiziev and Charles Oliveira, the next fight to be canceled. Okay, two fantastic fights. So it would have been and could have been, but unfortunately, it's not happening. Okay. Queen says Diego Lopez got his name up recently. I do think so. After that last performance and beating Gene Silva, and stopping that momentum, I do give Diego Lopez all the credit that he deserves. Excuse me. Mustard says that Islam JDM card looking amazing. It definitely is, guys. That's the reason why I did bring it up. It's looking like an amazing card, a fun card. I'm excited for that card. Okay. But we shall see. We shall see how everything, comes together, because as we know right now, and it proves with today's breaking news, nothing is guaranteed. Okay? Nothing is guaranteed, especially when it comes to putting these UFC fight cards together. Okay? All right? Nothing is guaranteed. These things might just fall out in the last minute. Okay? They're still giving hell for, to Arman about him falling out due to back injury. People are blaming his weight issues, but I digress. Okay, I digress. Get a drink here. But yeah, guys, I mean, I think that's about it. I think that is about it, guys, honestly. Okay, I think I might just cook me a little breakfast now. Have me a little breakfast sandwich. It's a little early right now. It's about to be 6 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, guys. There's nobody else doing it like this, okay? So like and subscribe, guys, if you are new to the channel, okay? Run up the likes, run up the subscriptions, okay? Support the community, all right? But yeah, guys, I might just make me a breakfast sandwich here. Some egg with some sausage on some bread, maybe some cheese on there, some good old American Southern, okay, Southern meal. Have a great day, broski. Yeah, man, I will have a great day. Everybody has a great day as well, okay? Have a great weekend, okay? Enjoy yourselves, guys, okay? Enjoy yourselves. Make sure you have some fun, but also be safe, okay? Be safe. And you already know what it is, guys, okay? This is OE MMA TV. I'm your host, OE. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. And like I always say, this is your channel. The only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right, guys. It's been real. One love. Until next time.